So guys, another day of consolidation within most of the major cryptos. XRP, as you guys know, granted today is Sunday, has pretty much just been slowly heading lower and lower and lower. You can see we're inside what appears to be a massive bull flag formation though, which at some point or another, I strongly believe is going to end in us swinging higher up. But for the time being, the prices are just continuously getting sandwiched to the downside here, rejecting off what appears to be some sort of downtrend that we could maybe throw in on here. But regardless of that, I do believe we are getting to a point now where we don't have the room to be continuously heading lower here. We've also discovered what appears to be a massive descending triangle forming on XRP's relative strength indicator. And although we did break through it, we're not really seeing much movement right now, but I do think this would inevitably let us start to scale outside of this like suppression that's been on XRP for a long time now here. The goal inevitably is for this to do something like that, retest moving average, and then hopefully break out of that. Will it happen? I don't know, but that's what we're here to find out. That's the main focus. We do have a golden cross happening right now. Lots of you guys are saying there's a death cross happening. I'm not sure where that is. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But we are seeing a golden cross happen right now in the Bollinger Bands, which is also a good sign here. Typically, we want to look for... You can see, obviously, green volume heading us higher, but also a cross of the blue band above the orange, which would be an indication of volume coming in, and obviously some good sentiment for us to head up higher. However, problem is, it's kind of just taken forever. But, I mean, we're not really seeing the volume injection just yet. But the goal is eventually we should start to get that, hopefully come this week, as we don't really see much movement when the markets are closed on the weekend anyway. But we're also going to be looking at Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Solana is flatlined out yet again, just completely shot. And a lot of these cryptocurrencies are doing the same thing. Ethereum is completely shot, flatlined out on 50. And we have Bitcoin completely flatlined out and shot as well, literally trading sideways, doing absolutely nothing important, which is just lovely if you ask me. Super pain in the butt, but hopefully we can see the results of this consolidation fairly soon, allowing for these cryptos to trade sideways and eventually start to break up. That's the goal. I mean, that's the main focal point of today's episode. But with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump right into today's video. Now, before I dive into the technical analysis, just want to let you guys know BitFi is still giving away $100 of free cryptocurrency. All you have to do is make your first deposit and trade and get 100 USDT completely free. It's a limited time offer. More information about this is in the description down below, but it's also right here if you do decide to use a QR code and scan the screen. It is that simple. Definitely make sure to take advantage of that because it will be going away shortly. Now, diving into the technical analysis, you can see yesterday we made a video talking about the fact that there is a golden cross happening on the Bollinger Bands, which is definitely a good sign. Not only were we breaking above the relative strength indicator, which I just showed you on XRP, but a cross above the Bollinger Bands is good. And I'll show you why that is usually a sign that bottom could be in. And maybe, just maybe, fingers crossed, we can start to head out of this because for the time being, we have been doing nothing but kind of just trend lower and lower and lower here. Volume is currently down yet again. Consolidation is still taking over the markets here, trading at 50 on the Fear and Greed Index. Sideways movement for the most part here. You can see we're down 0.5%, 0.6%. There's really very little movement here, which is typically what happens after Friday afternoon. The stock market seems to have some sort of indication on these cryptos. It's like every single week when the stock market closes Friday afternoon, crypto goes dormant. It starts to hibernate until Monday here. It's like every single week for years now. You can see this is like Friday afternoon, and then we have Saturday, and then we have today, Sunday, just not doing anything, completely flatlined out. Same thing with Ethereum, BNB starting to see a little hiccup. But a lot of the major cryptos don't do anything of importance on the weekend here. It's during the week that we start to see some big movements. Now, you can see the only hope, like the last grain of salt right now that we've been focusing on, which shows signs of pretty much starting to reverse out of this, is the Bollinger Band cross, this little reversal right here. It's a good sign. We haven't really had a bullish cross on XRP in a while. I think maybe it was right here This is the 26th of December, and then prior to that was the 5th of December. So the 26th and the 5th, you can see the 26th of December was right around here, and you can see we kind of had this big swing to the upside here. And then the 6th was right around here. This is the 6th. So we do have some pretty solid runs when we do have the Bollinger Band cross, a golden opportunity. But for the most part, we've pretty much just been flatlined out. I mean, we have been trending for a long time now, literally since November. All of November, all of December, and pretty much all of January has been doing nothing but trending lower, getting rejected off this resistance here, and just continuing to scale lower. And we've been looking for a break above this resistance as we fill in this gap here for us to pop to the upside here. That's truly what I'm waiting to see happen here. We have a descending fractal forming here. If we jump to the weekly charts, you can see clear as day what that might appear like. You can see how we have 5 drawn on XRPs, and you can see we've just been scaling downwards. And this is why I'm like a firm believer we don't have much more room to head lower. Granted, obviously on the weekly charts we could head lower, but it's been a long time since we did that. That was back in mid-2022 when we became oversold on the weekly. I don't think that's likely to happen here, but even then we're creating higher lows on the weekly, which is also a signal of higher movements, which is hopefully what happens here. We're even undervalued on that weekly moving average too. So, I mean, what we're looking for ideally is to continue to move up to retest moving average right like that. And because we've now bottomed off, that I think we've pretty much just been dragging on the bottom support here. I likely think we should start to see a reversal up and outwards. That's the main focal point here. The main goal is for us to eventually swing up and move outwards. It's going to take some time, but ideally that's what I would expect to see happen. Now, trading inside of this would be more of an aggressive trade here, and then outside of moving average to the upside would be conservative. But until we see any sort of volume come back in, we're really just waiting. We're waiting around, and we are sitting ducks. Now, obviously, we take advantage of all these trades on BitFi, which is the #1, as you can see, cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use on the channel. BitFi will let you buy long, sell short, leverage trade, create stop losses, take profits. Everything and anything you'd want to do on an exchange is offered here, including welcome rewards bonus, as well as they offer a demo trading account. So what that means is not only can you earn over $2,000 in free cryptocurrency by completing some of these tasks right here, which you can sign up for in the description, they also have a demo account, which gives you $50,000 in Monopoly money to test your skills, get familiar with the BitFi platform, and then when you're ready, you can then switch on over and go back to live trading and test out the real crypto market, which I highly recommend all you guys check out ASAP down below. So now that you guys kind of know what's happening with XRP and that we've been pretty much flatlined out, volume has just died off completely here, we've also been focusing on a lot of these other cryptos. We were hoping to see Solana burst through its major resistance, which I still think is going to head up. It's just taking longer than we expected because we had this smaller bull flag forming here. We did break through this. We did bounce and rebound off moving average and head upwards, which was a sizable return. But for the most part, we got caught up with the uptrend here in yellow, and we've been doing nothing but just consolidating and rejecting off resistance. And it's been kind of a pain in the butt, if you ask me. Now, there is some sort of smaller downtrend forming here. You can clearly see if I drew this in yellow, then we draw some sort of uptrend here. Like, there's definitely something forming. I don't know how we want to draw it. I think I have to tweak it a little bit more than that. It's something along the lines of like this right here. There is some sort of smaller fractal forming here for sure. I don't know how we want to draw it. We might have to take it on the 4-hour. You can see kind of this support right here, as well as this downtrend. However we want to do it, it might be something along the lines of this, but you can clearly see where we've drawn in a top resistance, price ceiling, and where there's some sort of support that's pulling us lower here. You can kind of see this kind of pattern that's developing where we're creating higher lows and lower highs, sandwiching, filling in this gap here, and a decision very shortly is going to have to be made. The goal is to break to the upside here, but who knows what exactly is going to happen. But this is another main focus for us. And unfortunately, we've been literally floating at 50 on the RSI for quite some time. And it's not just Solana. Practically every cryptocurrency is doing the same thing, floating sideways on Ethereum, extremely boring, trading at 50 on the RSI. Bitcoin floating sideways, trading at, you guessed it, 50 on the RSI, doing nothing here. Yet again, we would expect to see this kind of fill in this gap, which is just extremely boring. Same thing goes with Ethereum. As we start to trend outwards here, it has just been an extremely boring market. So whatever anyone else tells you is entirely false. We've just been heading lower. And there is also some sort of support like this. Like there is for sure some sort of very small, tiny moving average or fractal forming. There's some sort of technical indicator forming on these. We are creating a higher low and a low and a higher, or a lower high and a higher low, filling in the gap here. And you can see how we've been floating. Volume has steadily died off. You can see like this into something much smaller, and then a decision is going to have to be made, hopefully in our favor, but we'll see how that usually goes, as you know. But that's really the focus here. There is some sort of short-term fractal forming that hopefully can break us to the upside. But even then, if we have to short this, which would suck, but we could also take advantage of that on BitFi. So definitely make sure to check that out. The S&P heading higher. I think it's going to consolidate down tomorrow, but we'll see. And with that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.